Why is this our name, Butt Munch? You get to play first.
Ooh.
Are you excited?
I am.
All right, we're playing Riku's story on Kingdom Hearts.
Did you sync and everything?
Reaching the Memories, yes.
All right, let's do a new game.
All right,
and then we'll do
so
Riku.
I really wanted to replay Sora's. Are you sure?
Well, let's do Proud.
Some people say beginner is way more fun, but do you want to do let's just do standard so that we can feel okay about ourselves in life.
Okay. I would have been fine with beginner. Let's have it on.
Strong.
And let's put this next to my crotch.
Yeah. Really strong.
Yes.
Extremely strong.
Stronger than
You got
your mom.
Got him.
Got him.
Are you really excited for Riku's story?
Yes.
Here? Look at those pants. I never really vibed with his KH1 design.
No.
Compared to like 2 and 3.
I think his design's fine.
Stay asleep.
Who's there?
You should remain asleep. Here, between light and dark.
Between what? The king! Where's the king? Together we close the door to darkness. After that?
You came drifting here by yourself. You did not have the strength to overcome the darkness. Or maybe you were close to it.
As if I'm some kind of demon.
Turn from the light. Shut your eyes. Here, blanketed by the darkness, sleep is safety. Sleep is eternal. But
What's this?
it is a door to the truth. Take it and your sleep ends as you take the first step toward the truth. But know this, the truth will bring you pain. Will you still go? There is no return to the security of sleep.
The truth is what they named my adult member when I was in prison. And that was my phrase, the truth will bring you pain.
Will you still go?
Seemed like a boring place to take a nap anyway.
That was very well said, Riku.
Do you think all of his cutscenes will be voiced, or just a few?
I think just a few. If they didn't even do it for Sora, they're not going to do it for Riku.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's more important here. To the story.
Maybe.
A door to the truth, huh?
Oh, that's all a Bastion.
Oh.
I knew that before you. You didn't know, did you?
I did not know. Oh, whoa, he confirmed.
Hey.
There's all Bastion. Look at that.
Yeah, they call me the Easter egg enabler.
What if I did this the whole game? Would that be funny?
I'd puke.
Are you
what
laughing?
are we in VR?
Are you laughing?
No.
Okay.
What do you think about VR games?
I
People
don't
get really
like
You don't. People get really mad at me for not loving VR.
Well, people like that can suck my cho.
Okay.
Got him. Which one should I save on?
Oh, the new one. New one. We
Just
need...
do 30 or 27?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, I need plenty of save files
Okay.
here.
Should we do it on 99?
No, that's not funny.
What if there's a trophy for beating the game on all 99 save files?
I feel like they would put it in here just to be annoying, since this is probably my least favorite Kingdom Hearts game. Is it yours?
This one, yeah. I need to remember how to play this game.
Well, again, apparently we were wrong about that, remember?
What do you mean?
I mean, when we talked about this game on, I think it was on JayRPG, and there were people genuinely angry, like, my uncle works at Nintendo, take that back.
Wait, what did they say? I don't remember this.
I don't remember. They had some dumbass reason for defending the game.
They were angry that we didn't like the game?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, this game has some, like, weird defenders on it. I don't understand.
Even though we don't hate the game.
No.
We just don't love the game.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mainly just don't like the combat in the game. That's all.
Yeah, well, I heard it's better for Riku because his, deck is set.
Yeah.
I will say this. I watched like this is Hollow Bastion. I watched some of Riku's story before.
Yeah.
I never actually played through his story.
Right.
So I don't really know everything with this one.
What you see is not real. It's the world of your memory.
My memory?
The things you remember from your time at the Marxist's castle became a card, and that card made this world.
Isn't that like an oxymoron, a Marxist castle?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Because in Marxist societies, the top people always just have the most money.
There's not supposed to
anyways.
be a top person.
But it always ends up that way.
Oh, they're just doing it wrong. We'll do it right this time.
Okay, got it. You've seen everything here before, haven't you?
Yeah. Do you have any better pants for me? So what now? Am I gonna learn something? Maybe meet someone?
You would meet the people in your memories.
He was hoping this was like a grinder.
Ordinarily.
What does that mean? Is this gonna be a meet cute?
Oh, cuties?
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm asking you a question. Who's he even talking to? Do
The
you know?
sky.
Oh.
It's old man yells at cloud.
Okay, but it's young man yells at cloud. Fine. But it better be you I run across next, voice. Or what? It's a voice.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do?
What
are you gonna
Shake
do
your
about it?
fist at the sky? I always love Grandpa Simpson. I think he's hilarious.
I know, I love him. He's the best.
All right.
So
So
Hollow Bastion.
I'm actually much more invested in this story.
Me too.
And I'm being serious because
Yeah.
I don't actually know everything about it. The last time I remember interacting with anything of Riku's story from this was I read the manga, but it's a very, very condensed version of both stories. So, you know, I don't really know what the deal is with that. I also don't know what the deal is with XP because they said that your deck is set. Remember, if you don't get the XP, it goes away though.
Well, I think maybe you can level up health and stuff.
Okay, got
Because
it.
look, I have like 0 health.
I thought you were just stuck like that.
No.
Okay, sorry.
Oh,
You're
okay.
confused.
All right.
Whoa.
Oh, wow, we got him.
By the way, I had a question for you that I wanted to talk to you about for
Okay.
a couple minutes, since we were playing probably the most engaging game ever, and I just thought I'd make it more engaging.
This is a very engaging game, so yes.
So, I was wondering...
Oh, see, I leveled up.
Nice! Good job.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
What did you actually get, though? Or do you pick that at the end?
How do you lock on? I don't remember.
R2?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Or is it L2?
It was R2.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I had a question for you about the future of Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
This is unrelated to this, I suppose, but it's a question that I have.
Okay.
How many more... Wait, Darkness Boost is DP? Can you only pick the top two?
At least for now, yeah.
Okay.
I'll just do health.
So my question was, how many more generations do you think Nintendo will do physical games for?
I think 2.
You think, like, the one they're on and one more? Or the one they're on, one more, and one more after
I
that?
think whatever the Switch 2 is, and then the one after that will happen.
What do you think-
Nintendo's always a system behind.
Right, well, that will be a good thing in this case.
Yes.
What do you think about, okay, what do you think about PlayStation? Because I think it'll be just the PS6 and they'll be done with them.
Yeah, and that's why I say Nintendo will have 2.
Okay,
because
well,
I could see the PlayStation 6 having
Sorry,
one more.
I was just asking.
So I think Nintendo will follow suit, and then I think they will have one more system after that.
Seems like I offended you. Well, that's why I said 2. All right, just wondering.
I feel like I'm really bad at this game.
That's fine, as long as I don't have to play it.
If it's
I will
good
still play
gameplay,
it.
it's you.
That's true.
If it's bad gameplay, it's me.
Hey, you caught on. So I was going to say I think the same, but do you think that they will ever, like, when these go away? Well, first off, I think Xbox is just done.
Yes.
Like, I think their next generation will not have physicals.
No, I don't think so.
It might, but it just seems like they're really pushing away from it.
Their next
You
generation...
attack. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's AP.
No, you...
Oh, it's attack boost. No,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Their next generation, I can guarantee, is just going to be Game Pass.
You think so?
I think it's
gonna
just.
be a Game
I think
Pass
it's going to be
machine?
I think it's be Game Pass, and you can buy the games digitally.
Would you buy it?
No,
You would not buy the console.
probably not.
I wouldn't either. I just don't think I would. And some people say, well, why? I have a PC. Like, if consoles ditch physical, which here's the two things consoles have that I think is really nice. Ease of use.
Yes.
I have my accounts on them already.
Yep.
So like achievements, trophies, you know, easy party joins, stuff like that. And physical games. That's genuinely like it that I think consoles have better than PC. And maybe you just say different, because to some people they don't care about those things. But
Yeah.
I do.
Right.
So you lose those things, and it's like, well, what do I care? Like, why don't I just play on Steam or the Epic Game Store or Xbox on PC, which, you know, they have their app.
Right.
Also,
yeah.
I feel like this is too loud. Like this music.
I did increase our attack,
Okay, thank
so I know you're probably really happy about that.
you. Extremely.
But yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it's like, what else is the point, you know, without these things?
Right.
Because that's always the push for console gaming, is you get to have the games.
Yeah.
You know, and PC had this too back in the day.
Yeah, people gave it up.
Yeah. Computer, you know, you used to buy computer games, like physicals.
Yep.
So, you know, it always was okay, because you could just play any game wherever you wanted. But now without physicals, it's kind of like, well, yeah, I'll play PlayStation, because that's, you know, where I can buy the game. I want to own this game. But I don't know. I mean, if Xbox goes away from it, which it seems like John Xbox is just hating it, I'm like, okay, what's the point?
So do you think, though, that, like, do you think that Nintendo will fix the issue they're having right now, where their system is literally holding games back in a lot of ways, because it's basically just an original PS4 or less? Like, I think it's not even as powerful as an original PS4, is it?
I guess I don't remember what the Switch is. I don't know.
Just the normal Switch.
I like the Switch, though.
I love the Switch.
I don't really
I'm
care
not
if it's not as powerful.
Right, but you'd care in 5 years if it was like all games were just like they never advanced or anything. Like the
Right.
Switch is getting older. I think it's fine to do a Switch 2.
Yeah.
I would want it to play all the normal Switch games, though.
Me too.
Here, I'll do a little bit of this. That's what I would want.
Well, I think I just beat all the enemies in this area.
Well, I'm going to the next area, then.
Okay.
Hey, one detail I like is, do you see his symbol in the upper right? It's his Keyblade.
Isn't that awesome? Alright, let's go to the next area.
Okay, alright. We're getting there.
Well, I'm ready to be done with the game now.
Yeah, you and me both.
Like, we need to beat the game right now.
But I guess I feel like they would probably fix that. Did you know that technically, and I never knew this, technically a lot of people say in terms of just tech specs, the GameCube was more powerful in a lot of ways than the PS2.
Right.
I didn't know that. I thought the PS2 was slightly above the GameCube. But technically it wasn't. And so I feel like this is more of like a new thing with Nintendo, of like, they've been doing this thing since the Wii. It's not new. But where they've been, you know, kind of like not prioritizing power. And that's fine to an extent, but then the problem is when you have multi-platform, I think that's where it becomes an issue. So like when you have games that release on the Switch, but they also release on the Xbox and the PlayStation.
Right.
That leads your Switch version to usually cost the same amount, but not run as well. And I think that that's kind of annoying when you're charging people the same amount for a game that doesn't run as well. Mm-hmm. And that's why I would say, like, you either need to, or around the same amount, because sometimes Switch games are a little cheaper. Like by $10.
Yeah, right.
But for me, it kind of seems like that's something you'd want to address with your next hardware iteration. Don't you think so? Like, just not to always be the guy who's like, you know, I don't know, like one step behind the other two in terms of power.
Well, and I think Nintendo's problem is, I'd have to look at the release dates of all these systems, like including Xbox and PlayStation. But I think starting with the Wii, Nintendo tried to release their consoles like a couple of years before PlayStation and Xbox. So I think it's kind of created an issue where PlayStation and Xbox, you know, like Nintendo's consoles are always a step behind because they released theirs, you know, a few years beforehand. Like, I think the Switch came out in 2017, wasn't it? And PlayStation 4, because isn't like the Switch technically on par with like PS4 and Xbox One?
I just asked you this and you said you didn't know.
I think it kind of technically is.
Like the original, not the PS4 Pro.
I'm just saying that generation.
Right, but not the Pro. I'm saying the launch of that generation. Yeah, I think it was about on par with the launch versions of those consoles.
But those came out in like 2013 or something. So the Switch came out 4 years later.
And yet was like 4 years behind power-wise.
Yeah. But the thing is, they act like the Switch is the current gen I mean, it is, but I'm saying current gen in terms like with PS5 and stuff like that, but it's not actually. It's kind of in between.
Yeah, it's a weird mid-gen refresh type thing.
So it's like, I think if they, not that they have to release them on the exact same year, but I think if Nintendo just kind of released their consoles more in time with the other systems, they could have a chance to make them more powerful.
But then the question is, do they want it to be more expensive? Because that's what it would end up being. You know, it would end up being more expensive like those, the more powerful you make it.
Yeah.
So I guess then the question is, do you want to do that?
I don't know.
And
I guess it depends on if people value that.
Do you value that?
Not really.
I mean, I only value it when it holds back other games. So, like, for me, it's kind of become a... I don't buy anything on the Switch that's not exclusive.
Yeah, right.
Ever. Like, I mean, the only times I ever have... there might be like a couple of old, you know, like role-playing games or things like that I was like, oh, I want a physical of that. Mm-hmm. You know, so like the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, those are retro games. I actually wouldn't mind eventually getting it on the Switch as well. Just to have a physical that like I could take on a road trip.
Right.
That kind of thing. But like I would never go...
You're not going to like play Skyrim on the Switch.
Or Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
You know, like how they have Assassin's Creed... I don't know, like what's the...
Well, they have like AC4 and don't they have 3?
I
don't know.
I think they do. I think you're right.
AC4 is definitely on it, but
yes, I would never buy that on there. Would you?
No.
But don't you think that's a problem though, that their multi-platform appeals to like only people where that's the only thing they have? Like I feel like I do think it puts you at a disadvantage when people would rather buy all multi-platform games on something else because they run better. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I think you and I don't value it as much because we have the other systems.
Right.
What if you didn't? Wouldn't it be annoying to be like... Remember with the Wii U how there were certain games that didn't run as well?
Yeah.
And it was annoying. That's how I feel like it is for people where that's their only console.
Yeah, and there's... You know, like, there's people that I guess just don't care, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they just play the Switch, they're fine with it, they're happy with it. They understand Hogwarts Legacy is not going to run as well, but they're happy they can play it.
Yeah. But some games are almost unplayable.
Yeah.
Like, there are a few that are just busted.
And I kind of think it is kind of an issue. You know, the Switch... I don't view Nintendo in the same way that I do PlayStation or Xbox. Mm-hmm. You know, I view Nintendo as like a fun, you know, I want to go play Super Mario Odyssey system on. You know, just kind of like a fun family kind of game, whatever. Not that everything has to be family friendly, but I'm just saying, you know, it's not like Modern Warfare 3.
I came into the room.
We know, Joe.
Thank you.
Aren't you going to do some stuff on your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna relax.
Good.
So, I'm just saying, like, I don't view it the same way. So when I go and buy a Switch, I'm not going to buy Skyrim on the Switch.
But you used to take Nintendo more seriously.
I did, yeah.
You just don't now.
But I also didn't really play the multi-platform stuff on Nintendo. Because when I grew up with, like...
We have to go this way. I messed up.
Okay.
You can still tell me.
Well,
I was wondering.
When I grew up with, like, Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart and, you know, all these other games. I didn't really grow up with, like, Modern Warfare 2 and, you know, Xbox games, Halo and stuff like that. I didn't grow up with those consoles. So for me... Oh, there's the door. So for me, I guess, I didn't really care about it at all growing up because I didn't have those games.
But then you did try and play things like Injustice, and some of those ran well. But there were certainly games that, you know, they would recommend, if you only have a Wii U, maybe don't bother.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Or a Wii, or
and like,
things.
And like I played, you know, AC3 on the Wii U. I had fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun time, but guess what? I didn't have the other systems to compare it to. I just bought AC3 on the Wii U. That's what I was used to. I played it. I had a good time.
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of people who only play Nintendo, they're fine with it because they don't have any other experience with other systems. But yeah, I don't know. I'll talk after this.
Everything is just how I remember it. Even this room.
Was this like this room to get like touched?
Yeah.
It must be nice being back in your old bedroom. Think of all the memories.
What is this, his uncle? Who's talking here? You again. Sorry, but these memories I could do without.
I think he was touched in here.
Maleficent gave me this room.
So she did, and you lived here, tempted by her darkness that she offered.
She did wear gloves.
I don't want to see
You
her
cast
on her.
away your home, your friends, everything, but at least they gave you a nice room.
Why is that voice being a dick?
I don't know.
Stop talking! And it was a nice room. He didn't even have a TV. It wasn't that nice of a room.
Yeah, how do you play video games?
He didn't. Well,
No.
apparently he didn't care about them like you and Nintendo.
Right.
What, Joe?
I wanted to mention, even though I'm not in this Let's Play.
Yeah, why are you deciding to be in it?
Well,
You said you had stuff you wanted to do.
I'm gonna be quiet, I promise. But in addition to what Nate was saying, there's some games that they put on the Switch that are just exponentially worse than they are on every other console.
That's what I've been talking
Yeah.
about, Joe.
Yeah, and it just makes me sad. It's like, well, why would you choose that unless it's the only console you have?
Well, and that's what we were saying is, for games that are only on the Switch, I think it's fine.
I think it's
Like
perfect. I
Super
think it's
Mario
great.
Odyssey. The Switch is designed for Super Mario Odyssey.
Or Smash
it's fine.
Bros.
It works. Yeah, Smash Bros, Mario Kart works out perfectly fine for that. No
Yeah.
problems at all.
Well, but nobody's arguing it. It doesn't.
Yeah, but I'm saying for things where it's like Assassin's Creed, it's clearly just better to play it on the PlayStation or Xbox.
And my whole point, which I was getting to with all of that, was just, wouldn't it really solve their problem if they weren't so far behind in power that it made even a difference?
Yeah.
Like maybe, and this is my same problem with the Xbox One S. This is not exclusive to Nintendo. Did you know that video game developers are annoyed about the Xbox Series S?
Yeah, right.
Did you know that they are actually annoyed about it?
Right.
And the reason that game developers have cited for it is that it holds back all games because basically Microsoft says, hey, if you make a game for the Series X, it has to run on the Series S.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, but the Series S is super underpowered.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you could, like, RoboCop Rogue City, you know what they did when they couldn't get it working right on the Switch? They said, we're not releasing it there. It sucks, but you know what? The game didn't run perfectly even on PS5.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, yeah, it's not going to work here. Like, this is... Do you want to deliver a shit experience or just say, hey, I'm sorry, but you know what? It's better. You'd hate it. You'd hate what we made. Why would you want to make that for people? And yet Microsoft is literally making people do that. And if you're watching at home and you just have a Series X or Series S and that's all you can, afford, or like your parents bought it for you, you're not doing very well, or even you're working really hard and you have other hobbies and you're like, I can't go buy more consoles, that's not aimed at you. Like, I get that. I grew up, I played the PS2 mainly for 10 years. You know why? Because I couldn't afford an Xbox 360. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Poor people were...
Until like 2010 or 11.
Yeah.
And that was the only console. Actually, I got a Game Boy Advance used, an SP. I bought it used from a friend in the middle there with like chore money. But like other than that, all I had was a Game Boy Advance SP and a PlayStation 2 for like 10 years.
Right.
And the Game Boy Advance SP I only had for like 5 of those 10 years. My point is, I get people being in a situation where they can't afford this or that, or they don't want to buy this or that. That's fine. But when I was doing that, or when that was all I had, do you know what I didn't expect? Them to go and release everything on the PS2 even after they moved on from it. I understood, hey, you know what? There's more technology. And I think that a problem with some people, and especially right now with Microsoft and Nintendo, is it seems like they have this idea of like, well, if our thing is worse and it's holding you back, too bad. And it's like, no, it's not too bad. Like, you're lucky they're still making the stuff for that.
Right.
Because otherwise, you know, like, that consumer base just wouldn't get to play the game. And that's kind of what I was getting at with all this with, I'm glad that Nintendo lags behind with certain things. So, for example, they were much slower to embrace DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they did a better job with DLC because of it. We didn't get things like the Elder Scrolls Oblivion horse armor. You know, where it was like just a joke. We got things like intentional stuff, like Breath of the Wild DLC.
Yeah, right.
And so I think that, you know, they did a good job with that kind of slow thing. And I think they're doing a good job with their exclusive games. I think almost all of them are great. Mm-hmm. And even the ones that aren't great are usually good. Some examples in there that are misses, like maybe Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. But
that's the best one.
Most of them are very good.
Yeah, right.
And so my thing is, like, I have no problem with that. I was never arguing that was a problem. It's not. My problem with them is the same problem I have with the Series S, where if you are the one guy who's, like, way behind in terms of power and capabilities, but, you know, you have a big enough player base that it still matters to appeal to, which I do think it matters to appeal to Nintendo gamers. It does kind of suck, same with the Series S, when the company bills the thing as the cheaper alternative, but they don't tell you how much weaker it is.
Yeah, right.
And so then you have these games that are being designed for everything, and they run either like trash on there, or in the case of RoboCop, they would run so bad that the company purposely has to pass over millions of players, potentially. Like, a huge player base. They just straight up passed over them because they were like, well, we could give these people garbage or we could just give them nothing.
Yeah.
So sad.
So I respect that they just gave them nothing. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I respect that because it's like, well, a lot of people would have just served them up garbage and said, whoa, that's what you get.
You have it, there you go.
You own the Switch. Like, you know, here's your option to play our game, but really nerfed. I'm glad they don't do that in some cases, but there are a lot of cases that do. Like, Ubisoft does not care.
Yeah,
Ubisoft will just give you a worse version of the game.
Because they're just like, give me money.
Yep. Whatever. Absolutely. Like, there's a lot of, like their Assassin's Creed games, there's a bunch of them that just ran worse on that. Like the, what was it, the Assassin's Creed Rogue Collection or whatever?
Yeah, it wasn't really that good.
No, it didn't run very well. You know, but then there was, like, Assassin's Creed, I think the Ezio trilogy ran okay.
Yeah,
because it was
fine.
360 games. That ran okay on there, and Jill's friend actually has that. We bought it for your friend.
Oh, yeah,
the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection.
Yeah.
Because that one ran okay on there.
You didn't buy it for me.
Well, no, because
wow.
You have your own money, and
So
this person's very poor.
Well, I'm poor.
And also, the Switch is the only console they have.
Oh.
So we're talking about that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying that, like, I think that they will tell you these things are like the cheap alternative, and they'll appeal to people who are struggling, but then they won't tell you how much worse some of the games are. Like, they never advertise. They're not, but if they made Assassin's Creed Shadows on Switch, they would never tell you, by the way, it runs way worse here.
Yeah.
They wouldn't advertise that.
No.
They'd just be like, yeah, it's on the Switch.
Right.
And then it would be on reviewers to tell you it runs worse.
Yeah.
To me, that feels a little dishonest. Like, it feels like you're trying to con people.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Whereas with, like, the Nintendo-only games, it feels like you're actually giving them a very good value.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect that. So I don't know, that's kind of my thing with Nintendo and the Series S, is like, it feels to me like you're trying to almost pull one over on people on certain multi-platform games without telling them.
Yeah.
And you're also tying the hands of video game developers where they are now, you know, mandated to make their game work on all this stuff, and that takes away a lot of resources and, you know, all these things from how it could run on, I think you went the wrong way.
Oh.
On everything else.
Right. Well, and that's...
Does this make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Like, look at Astrobot. It just came out, and look at Astro's Playroom.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a game that uses the DualSense controller as good as Astro's Playroom?
No.
I haven't.
No.
It was a launch game with the PlayStation 5. And my point with that is, it worked so well because they only had to make it for one system.
Yeah,
you know,
it's designed for the PS5.
only.
It's not designed for the PS4. It's not designed for the PS6. It's not designed for the Xbox.
Right.
It's PlayStation 5.
Same with Smash Bros.
Yep.
You know, or whatever, or Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
It's designed for the Switch, and I love multi-platform. I think it's great to make games as available to as many people as you can. But the more differences there are between this hardware, the more it dumbs down every version.
Yeah, right.
Because, like, if I made Assassin's Creed Shadows for PS5, Xbox Series X, S, and Switch, let's just say I did that, it now is going to take away development time and money from the PlayStation 5 and Series X versions.
Yeah.
Because now they're going to have to make a version that can run on these other two weaker things. And I guess I just wish that wasn't still a problem. Maybe this is how PC players have felt for years.
Right.
Because you can buy like a $5,000 PC. But like in that case, I just want to say you have to have a huge buy-in. Whereas this is only the difference of like $200 maximum. Causes
Right.
this massive rift in quality.